95% of cat owners make the exact same statistical mistake the moment it's time to feed their pet. By dumping food into a dish and walking away, they ignore the single moment of the day when their cat is most biologically attentive. For owners of distant or aloof cats, changing how you deliver these calories creates a direct psychological bridge, turning an independent roommate into a pet that actively seeks your presence. This process requires no specialized treats or extra spending. It uses their standard food and takes exactly 5 extra minutes. Mealtime moves beyond simple caloric intake, functioning instead as a psychological exercise in cooperation. Cats operate on strict evolutionary programming. In the wild, their survival is a sequence: stalk, hunt, catch, and eat. A free bowl of kibble bypasses this hardwiring. An earned meal, however, engages the predator's brain and triggers a natural dopamine response. In this feline brain diagram, physical hand feeding engages primal circuitry, where survival and reward centers glow in sequence. Tracking indicators like proximity and touch, cats in these hand-fed interactions show a 400% increase in attachment behaviors over bowl-fed cats. For these metrics to shift, you must stop free feeding. This routine only works during a scheduled mealtime when the cat's hunger drives their focus. You are moving away from being a passive dispenser and instead becoming an active partner in their survival. Step 1 is the first bites protocol. Instead of pouring the full meal, sit on the floor at your cat's level with a small handful of kibble. Hold your hand completely flat with your fingers pressed tightly together. Place the kibble in the absolute center of your palm. Keeping the hand flat eliminates any raised edges for the cat to grab. This forces them to lick the food off your skin with their tongue, which prevents accidental biting. Your cat may hesitate during the first session. Hold your hand still and allow them to decide when to approach. Consuming food directly off human skin requires the cat to lower its natural defenses. This contact during a moment of vulnerability establishes a baseline of physical trust. After that first handful, transition to the facilitator setup. Deliver the rest of the meal using an interactive slow feeder or a puzzle toy. Load the puzzle directly in front of the cat and stay within arm's reach while they work. You are assisting in the hunt. Try pointing to hidden compartments or tapping the food to keep their attention on the task. By guiding them through the puzzle, you become part of the cat's problem-solving process. Shared effort in retrieving food creates a reliable association between your presence and the cat's sense of accomplishment. Finally, we will use the distance closer. Once a day, use a high-value treat specifically to practice physical closeness. Hold the treat steady near your body. The cat must make the choice to step forward and enter your space to receive the reward. Cautionary: if the cat remains too fearful to approach, do not reach out toward them, as this can trigger a flight response. Instead, drop the food halfway between you. Over several days, gradually drop the food closer to your hand until the gap is closed. This methodical approach incrementally rewires the cat's spatial boundaries regarding your presence. These 3 habits transform you from a passive observer into the active facilitator of your cat's most important daily routine. You will likely see a shift from the cat hiding under furniture to actively seeking out your proximity throughout the day. This change is reflected in the 400% increase in attachment behaviors observed in cats that have transitioned to the earned meal protocol. Try replacing just 1 meal this week with the first bites flat palm method. Watch how your cat manages that initial contact and describe their reaction in the comments. Building this level of connection requires no specialized equipment, relying instead on the daily, shared experience of survival. You walk into a typical living room, glance down at the rug, and instantly lock eyes with your resting cat. Observe the sequence that follows. They drop their front paws low to the ground, hike up their rear, and pull their entire body into a massive, exaggerated stretch. Physiologically, stretching resets the muscles and increases blood flow after a long period of rest. But watch the context. Felines reserve this specific, elongated motion as a deliberate greeting ritual directed specifically at you. Animal behaviorists categorize this specific behavior as the social stretch. Unlike a standard post-nap adjustment, the social stretch relies on a social trigger. It occurs almost exclusively in direct response to you physically entering the room and establishing deliberate eye contact. Domestic cats have adapted a solitary physical maintenance behavior into an interspecies greeting for their human companions. While a cat may stay tucked and alert during passive coexistence, the social stretch indicates a shift toward active engagement. To understand the weight of this greeting, we have to look at how felines are wired. As animals that operate as both predators and prey, they survive through constant hypervigilance. A cat's default posture is a loaded spring. Their body naturally stays coiled and balanced, primed for an instantaneous reaction to a threat. Even at rest, they instinctively tuck their limbs close to their core. This creates a physical shield to protect their soft underbelly and vital organs from a sudden ambush. Millions of years of evolution dictate that a feline's survival depends on never voluntarily surrendering this coiled mechanical advantage. Overriding a survival instinct of perpetual defense requires a high degree of perceived safety in their environment. When your cat performs the greeting stretch, they enter a state of temporary physical exposure. This diagram of a feline skeleton shows the first phase of the movement. They push their forelimbs out and pull their weight back, fully extending their spinal column and joints. Notice the delay metric. By locking into this elongated posture, the cat increases the physical time required to return to a defensive, flight-ready stance. As the diagram pivots, look at the abdominal cavity. When the limbs are fully extended, there is no skeletal protection over the most vital organs. In a wild environment, exposing these organs constitutes a severe biological risk. Yet they choose to enter this state of mechanical delay at the exact moment a larger animal, the human, enters their territory. The social stretch functions as a systematic dismantling of the cat's own defense systems, offered as a greeting. Cats are often described as aloof or fiercely independent, but this daily, vulnerable ritual provides a different perspective. By choosing this state of physical exposure, your cat is demonstrating their absolute trust in your presence. They are communicating through their biology. You are here, therefore I do not need to protect myself. Think about the last time you walked into a room and caught your own cat dropping into this exact elongated pose. When you see your cat perform this sequence, you're seeing a high complement of trust written in their biology. Share your own feline greeting routines in the comments below.